Grant Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Justice. Does she stand by all her statements regarding her relationships and interactions with Oravida Ltd?
Honourable Judith Collins.
Mr. Speaker, yes.
Supplementary question, Grant Robertson.
Does she stand by her statement in this House on the 19th of March in reference to her visit to Oravida's headquarters in Shanghai, quote, "The only other choice was to go to the airport or to go to Oravida and then to the airport"?
Honourable Judith Collins.
Mr. Speaker, I think it would be correct to say that I could have gone back to the hotel for a small dinner and then gone to the airport as well, or any other combination of that.
Point of order, Grant Robertson.
Mr. Speaker, I seek leave of the House to table a document from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade on the 9th of October, which is a timetable for the Minister of Justice visit to Shanghai, which includes, at the time she ended up going to Oravida, a business and law round table.
Document's been well described. Is there leave sought to table that particular document? Is there any objection? There is none. It can be tabled. Supplementary question, Grant Robertson.
How can she say that the only option was to go straight to the airport or to Oravida when the program for her visit actually had a business and legal roundtable in the time slot that was used for her visit to Oravida?
On order, Honourable Judith Collins.
Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Judith Collins. Order.
Mr. Speaker, I take exception to that comment. I'd like to have it withdrawn, please.
Order. The member's taken offence to the interjection that came from the Honourable Trevor Mallard. Would he stand and withdraw that comment?
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Order. We'll deal with that afterwards.
I'm not going to withdraw, Mr. Speaker.
That puts us in a very difficult position where I have no choice but to then ask. Order. No, the member alluded to a substantial amount of money being the benefit to the family. The minister's taken objection to that, and I think with justification. I will ask the member once more to stand and withdraw that comment. If not...
Mr. Speaker, I will not withdraw the truth.
Order. Then the Honourable Trevor Mallard will leave the chamber. Order. Order! 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 Now, I think we had a... do we get the supplementary question, Grant Robertson?
Supplementary question, Mr. Speaker. Given that she was in China as Minister of Justice, why was a business and legal roundtable removed from her program and replaced at her request with a visit to Oravida?
Honourable Judith Collins.
Mr. Speaker, the member is wrong in that question. The document that he refers to is one of a draft of itineraries prepared on the, I think it was the 9th of October, he said, by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade. That meeting or that dinner didn't go ahead, and that was not actually at my request.
Point of order, Grant Robertson.
Mr. Speaker, I seek leave of the House to table a document from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade which shows that the request for the visit to Oravida came directly from the Minister's office.
Order. Order. But it may well be a different thing, but leave has been sought to table that particular MFAT document. I'm going to put the leave. The House can decide. Leave is sought to table that particular document. Is there any objection? There is none. Point of order, Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Why doesn't he just save us a bit of time and table the whole official information?
Order, and that is not a legitimate point of order, and the Minister knows it. Supplementary question,
Mr. Speaker.
Grant
How is it
Robertson.
consistent with her responsibilities as a Cabinet Minister for her to remove a justice-related visit from her program and replace it with a visit to, quote, raise the profile of a company that her husband is a director of?
Honourable Judith Collins.
Mr. Speaker, I utterly and totally reject the allegations made in that question.
Supplementary question, Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary question, Grant Robertson.
Did her program provided by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade include a business and legal round table that was replaced by a visit to Oravida at her request?
Honourable Judith Collins.
Mr. Speaker, of course, no. The draft itinerary at one...
Order. The Minister's been asked a question. She must be given the opportunity to do it.
Mr. Speaker, no. It was very clear that this was one of a range of items that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade had suggested in a draft itinerary of weeks before I attended in China. And the fact is, I at no stage required it to be removed, and that member is quite incorrect in his statement.
Supplementary question, Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary question, Grant Robertson.
Why was it necessary for her to tell the New Zealand ambassador that, quote, nothing untoward, unquote, occurred at a private dinner?
Honourable Judith Collins.
Mr. Speaker, it was, of course, not necessary for me to do so, but I did.
Supplementary question, Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary question, Grant Robertson.
What was it that led her to believe that it was necessary for her to tell the New Zealand ambassador that nothing untoward occurred? Was it the presence of someone at that dinner that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade was so concerned about that they still provided her with briefing notes about that person?
Honourable Judith Collins.
Mr. Speaker, that member has again stated some matters as fact which are not fact. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade did not give me a briefing about the friend of Mr. Shi who was at the dinner, and the member is quite wrong to say so. They did not give me a briefing on it.
Mr. Speaker.
Sorry, point of order, Grant Robertson.
Mr. Speaker, I seek leave of the House to table an email exchange between the Director of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade's North Asia Division and the New Zealand Ambassador providing notes for a person who was to be at the dinner. The notes were provided on Friday the 18th of October.
The email trail has now been well described to the House. Leave is taught now to table it. Is there any objection? Order. Well, order. It's been well described by the member. I'm putting the leave. The House can decide. Well, if the member is misdescribing something he's seeking to table, that would be a serious offence that would be subsequently dealt with. Leave is sought to table that email trail. Is there any objection? There is none. It can be tabled. Question number 6, Alfred Nato.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister for Social